So what is going on, Kingdom Hearts fans? It's your boy Amaziah here, bringing you guys some more news from Tetsuya Nomura, talking with every eye once again about more information for Kingdom Hearts 3, in which he would talk about the Gummi ship this time around, and of course why he stresses the importance of really making sure that translations are on point, among other things about the gameplay of Kingdom Hearts 3. So let's go ahead and get into it. They asked, it seems that every world is able to embody a different style and type of gameplay. Mount Olympus, Rapunzel's Forest, and Monsters Inc. Factory show great versatility and ample spaces. In Toy Story, everything seems focused on freedom of action, even driving mecha-style toys. In Arendelle, it says in Arendelle, distances can be discovered by speed traveling, skiing with Goofy's shield. In Pirates of the Caribbean, finally, we can have naval battles and underwater explorations. Talk to us about the process of creating each world and how you've come to translate these Disney realities into gameplay. And Nomura would say this as a response. For this chapter, the development team put a large number of ideas on paper, starting from the flow of proposals received from all the staff. I then added my personal ideas to ensure that the concepts achieved a certain degree of completeness. This does not mean that the ideas of the other developers didn't play an important role. Indeed, when originally we began to select the worlds that we would have put in the game, I personally asked each one of them to propose to me a presentation illustrating how each world should be played. Oh my god, if I was there doing, let me just pause real quick. If I was there during that time, yo, I would have showed Tetsuya Nomura perfectly why fucking Treasure Planet needs to be in Kingdom Hearts 3. That fucking door that leads to multiple different worlds would have made so much sense in the story and could have played into the overall theme of Kingdom Hearts 3. But let's keep going. The final selection, which of course rewarded the ideas of which Disney realities would be a part of the final game, took place it also asked, let's talk about the Gummi ship. From the videos shown so far, it seems to be the only feature that has not been particularly revolutionized. Can we expect any surprises in this sense? How much space will this feature have? And Nomura says, in the first game, the Gummi ship had a strong symbolic significance. In the second chapter of the series, however, it ended up becoming a kind of amusement park attraction this time. However, the space in which you can move the spaceship will seem much more expanded and very similar to the map of a role-playing game. Clearly, we have added some customization options and repropose the shooting sections, which makes the Gummi ship what it is. But we also introduced a number of new elements thanks to a specific section of the development team that worked on it. Basically, the element of exploration is much deeper. So pretty much what he's saying here is pretty much a much more in-depth version of what he said. Now, what really interested me and piques my attention is that, of course, he mentions that this time around, I'm guessing the overall travel will be more so the setup of a RPG game. So I'm guessing he means something like Final Fantasy VII, in which there's this huge space, there's all of these different worlds, kind of like what we saw in Kingdom Hearts 2, but then you also have like these little events and stuff that you can see on the screen, which is exactly how it was in Kingdom Hearts 2. If you really look at it, you can see like not fortresses, but you can kind of essentially see like the forces of darkness and stuff. They'll be at those little gates and stuff, and you can see them sometimes. But with the power of the PS4, I'm guessing he means that there's going to be like things and stuff that you can actually see, such as if there's a battle going on or something like them moving and stuff on a world. You can probably see that too. Kind of essentially how in like Final Fantasy VII, you can see like the bosses and stuff sometimes on the map, and they'll be flying around and moving around and stuff like that. Hopefully that's what he means, because that would be some pretty cool shit to see, like a lot of the heartless bosses, or a lot of the dust, or I mean a lot of the nobodies or the unversed and stuff, when they're moving through, of course, certain spaces. You can see that, and you can go and take them on and stuff from those kind of things. So that would be kind of cool to actually have something like that. But when it comes to of course, the shooting sections, he says they repurposed them. I'm guessing he means like repurposed them or something like that. They repurposed the shooting sections, and from what we saw in, of course, the Frozen trailer, it does look like everything from the Gummi ship is at least overhauled, in a sense that it doesn't seem like it's on rails. Well, it does seem like it is on rails, because it does seem like it does guide you and navigate you, but however, it does seem like, of course, it does have that mixture of like Kingdom Hearts 1's and Kingdom Hearts 2's playstyle. It seems like those two are put together this time around, if you understand what I'm trying to say there. Because in Kingdom Hearts 1, there was the whole obstacle course type of thing and stuff going on, in which you try to like navigate through like those little blocks and stuff that would be floating. Sometimes you would have like the little meteors and stuff that would just be sitting there between the rings, and you would have to blow them up and stuff like that. It kind of looks like that, but at the same time too, you see like the level of detail, the level of interaction with the enemies and stuff like that is a lot higher, kind of like what we saw in Kingdom Hearts 2. For instance, the worm that we can see jumping from one huge ass spatial body to the other, that's another scene and stuff that, of course, makes it look like it's a lot more close to Kingdom Hearts 2 as well. So I think what he's trying to say here is that it's kind of a mixture of both of those. That's at least what I got from the Kingdom Hearts 3's reveal of the Gummi chip. But let's go ahead and get into the final question and the final answer. Regarding the localization, what are the times and difficulties of adaptation and translation of a work such as Kingdom Hearts 3, which collaborates closely with local franchises, Final Fantasy, and with a Western brand as important as Disney and the attached animation brands? Nomura would state, the biggest challenge is not so much the difference between Kingdom Hearts franchise and other brands. When I direct the game, I ask for translations to be as direct and faithful as possible, no matter how complex the subject is. This implies the question of which of the two localizations, Japanese or English, is the best. The truth is that, especially for Kingdom Hearts, an incorrect or defective translation risks compromising the comprehension of the whole story. Let me pause right there, because this is very true. When Marluxia said the True Organization 13 earlier this year, a lot of people, including myself, I'm not saying a lot of people to weep people out, I'm saying including myself, a lot of people was thinking, oh shit, well this means that there's another organization, which is something that I really wanted for Marluxia's character, but that idea is gone because he's a fucking seeker, so never mind. I'm not gonna get what I want on that side, because I felt like it would have just made so much sense to have Marluxia return and actually help out Sora. But anyways, kind of like Bleach villains and stuff, to where they return. Well, actually like anime villains in general, to where they return and help out the hero after the hero done kicked their ass. But of course, what I'm saying here essentially is that like it kind of led people to believing that there was going to be a third force in the Keyblade War, and potentially this third force could have made up the numbers for, of course, the 13 versus the 7. So this could have been like an extra potentially 6 fighters that could have been in on the Keyblade War on the side of the Guardians, or of course they could have just played a neutral role, in which of course they only help the Guardians because letting Xehanort gets what he wants would essentially be blockading them from what they want. And that was something that was going to be cool, because this could have been something that led into the future of the franchise. But no, it actually is that Marluxia was just simply a part of the Organization 13. So big ups to my boy Ed DeWiz, who actually pointed that out. I didn't even notice that, but Ed DeWiz pointed it out, and I was like, I don't know. I mean, it does say True Organization. I mean, even if he does say, like, you know, the True 13, Organization 13, you know, the True Organization is what was there, and, you know, he pointed it out. He did a damn good job pointing it out, because he got it before everybody. So let's go ahead and keep going. And this is why I care about it so much. On the other side of the scale, however, I also understand the dynamics that characterize the team's approach to the location of the game, which are quite complicated. After all, it is not an issue I can deal with firsthand. Therefore, I prefer leaving dealing with the problems to others. So right there, he's saying, of course, this isn't something that he can really do himself, or this isn't something that he can really look over himself. I don't know if you guys realize it, but every time Tetsuya Nomura comes to America, he always needs a translator. And I'm not saying that as something that's wrong. He does always need a translator though. So whether or not he can read English, speak English, I highly doubt it. But of course, whether or not he can read it or speak it is something that really goes into pretty much how much effectiveness he can have. This is why he said last time we talked about this that Tayasue is the person that usually checks these things. He checks them for him, and then of course Disney does the final check before the game is released. So definitely it does sound like, of course, he is potentially getting a lot more engaged this time around when it comes to making sure the translations are on point. So the whole time they've probably been going through this, Tetsuya Nomura has probably been looking over scripts, probably really trying to make sure and understand, getting Tayasue to explain to him, how is that English script coming along. And I feel like that's important because as the director, this is his vision. Anything that goes wrong with this is going to be thrown onto Tetsuya Nomura. So definitely, of course, we saw this with the director of Final Fantasy 15 as well. Anything that goes wrong with this will be thrown onto Tetsuya Nomura, even if it's just something like a simple translation error that leads, of course, Kingdom Hearts fans to this own little tangent of speculation for the future of the franchise, whereas the Japanese players who actually got the real translation will actually have, of course, all the information there, and it'll be like conflicting. So then of course you may have a situation in where the next game is going to go in a completely different direction, which leads Kingdom Hearts fans into this breaking off point, in which of course the Japanese fans know exactly what the hell is going on, and the American fans are going to have to wait until an update comes out because for a while the fucking translation was wrong. So that's something I definitely can respect from, of course, Tetsuya Nomura, as someone who, of course, makes their own content. I can respect that. But this has been your boy Amaziah, bringing you guys all the news from Tetsuya Nomura. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed my thoughts preceding, of course, what he had to say. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter at AmaziahYT, baby, where the discussion is always happening. Links in the pinned comment and the description below. I'm going to catch you guys in the next one. Peace the heck out.
What's left of me? What's left of me? And you and I, there's a new land. Sanctuary, my sanctuary.